HQ, the state of Hawaii is monitoring the progression of what's now called Invest 93C. You're looking at video from a recent hurricane hunters training mission. Today, they're heading into the real thing. 2 flights into 93C planned for today after 1 mission into the storm yesterday.
Let's bring in Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross. 93C likely to become a tropical depression later today. Bryan, what do you make of this system, especially in terms of what we could see in Hawaii this weekend?
Yeah, this is a threat to Hawaii. We don't know the degree of the threat yet. We won't know until the system organizes. But the reason they have such high numbers on the odds of organization and eventually turning into a tropical depression, tropical storm, and potentially a hurricane is that the models are very insistent, all of them, that the system is going to develop and head in the general direction of Hawaii. We'll look at that in detail in a second. There you see 90% is the chance that the system, the center is nominally located here. It's kind of a stretched out center. They're estimating 35-mile-an-hour winds is the maximum now. There's the pressure that they have at 1,003 millibars. Let's look at this close up, and we put the model analysis winds on it, so you can see they're kind of stretched out like this. We also see that the thunderstorms here are trying to wrap this way, and when they wrap around in an arc like that, that's a sign of organization. But you can also see them kind of moving in all different directions, and it looks like maybe there's a mid-level center here, so that the system just is not well organized yet, but all indications are that that is indeed going to happen. And there's the area the National Hurricane Center is painting. In this area somewhere, it's expected to develop with that 90% chance. So you can see that they allow for a lot of different kind of tracks toward Hawaii, and it makes a big difference if we were to kind of jog to the north again and be up here or farther south of where it actually develops, because that will change the trajectory of exactly how it gets to the islands and what parts of the islands will be affected. It would be very unusual if this did not affect the Hawaiian Islands over the weekend, but to what degree is an open question. Here are the traditional models. These are not the AI models, just the traditional models. And you see, for the most part, they head right toward Hawaii. When we look at the consensus of them, that's the yellow. You see that right in the direction of the islands. And Google is just to the south. Normally, an average of some sort. Sometimes we weight Google a little higher because the Google model has been fantastic in the Pacific on developed systems this year. The big typhoon in the Western Pacific, it had just magnificent forecasts. So we're going to keep a close eye on what that Google AI model says and how these things as a consensus, what they as a consensus say. But look, they all head in the direction of the Hawaiian Islands this weekend. So there's no question that there needs to be a significant alert there. Well, we just have something new here from Google. Maybe it's just coming in, but you can see the general idea. Just a moment ago, there were a lot of tracks there, so we'll see how this develops. New models coming in from the Europeans, but you can see they're all basically in the same place. So something has happened just the last few minutes, but the main point is that the ones that we have all show it right there in the direction of Hawaii. And I wanted to just show you that if it were to run into the big mountain here, Mauna Loa, that's there's actually more than one, but the big one, Mauna Loa, on Hawaii Island, then the center can reform and jog in some unpredictable direction. So systems that come directly toward the big island there are always very difficult to predict exactly what's going to happen on the other side. So that's the story with that one, and we'll just watch as this moves in the direction of Hawaii here over the weekend. You see there's a high consensus that that's going to happen. Back to you.
And so looking at what we've been watching with the overall evolution of this and what you think is going to happen based on what the forecast models say, what do you think are going to be the biggest impacts for Hawaii that we should be prepared for?
Well, the windward slopes are going to get a lot of rain and high winds. So the thing is that we don't know where the storm is going to be versus the mountains on all those islands. So on right now, the northeastern down to southeastern slopes are probably going to get the worst of this, but it's just really impossible to tell. And even if the storm goes south, then the worst of this is going to be north of the center. That's where the strongest winds and the most of the windward moisture is going to be, windward stream of moisture into the mountains. And of course, then it goes up in the mountains and it rains harder and all that water has to come down the mountains. Plus, at the coast, we're going to have storm surge, and along the beaches with very high waves, the waves may be up to 20 feet and pushing inland. And we're at an astronomical high tide season, and the ocean is very warm, so it is higher because of that. So for a lot of reasons, there are threats there in the Hawaiian Islands for this weekend, and residents and tourists need to be thinking about, okay, where's a safe spot that we can ride this out if if the storm does look like it's going to be bad in our particular part of our island. Each island is going to be a bit different.